Alright y'all, we're back. Another installment of Tony Restores. So, real excited about this one today. We found this the other day on Tony Finds, and what a winner. What a winner this one is. So, we've got beautiful hardware here. This is a one-of-a-kind jewelry box. Love it, love it, love it. So right away, we're gonna get to cleaning it, sanding it, typical. Palm sander, all the way down to the bone. So I think I'm gonna do this one in all white. So that means we're gonna really have to take all of the current stain off. And instead of using our Zinsser primer that's non-oil based, we're gonna go with an all white oil-based stain blocking primer. So that way, we really get a nice white shine on this. So what I'm gonna do right now is clean it up, sand it down, take this hardware off. We're also gonna spruce up the hardware too. We're gonna add some of the satin nickel Rust-Oleum spray. It's just gonna make the, it's gonna update the hardware, make it look like it's not from, 1864. So, real excited about this one, guys. So this is the only problem on some of these older pieces, is that a lot of these screws are stripped. So if you look real good in there, it's a little difficult to get out sometimes, but if you keep at it, you eventually can go. But in this case, it looks like we're gonna have to replace those screws, because once we get them out, they're not gonna be able to go back in. But that being said, let's go ahead and get them off, and I'll show you guys how to do that process.
Dear Santa Claus, how have you been? Did you have a nice summer? How was your life?
I know for sure a little girl inherited this from grandma or something, because hashtag squad wasn't a thing when this was manufactured. So, new age words in the new generation. Hashtag delete squad. This upholstery is absolutely hideous. So I think I'm gonna have to take it out of there. There's no fixing that, you mustard yellow. All right, so we got there down and dirty here. Let's make sure we try to get in as many nooks and crannies as possible. Really get all that off. Just using the Black & Decker. Oh, it's already pretty ruined here. Using the 120 grit, and I'll go over it by hand with a really finer grit, like a 240, 220. So. All right, y'all. So after some thinking and after doing my sanding, I think I decided we're not gonna go white on this one. We might get creative and do a multicolored thing. So I am going to instead put the regular 123 Zinsser primer on there instead of the oil base. We're gonna do the water base. I think that makes more sense for this piece. So we're gonna go ahead and get that started, and then after this I'm gonna show you guys how I do the hardware, and then we're just gonna let that cure overnight for those two things. So let's ride. Alright, so we got that all primed up here. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spray the hardware with our spray paint. Give it a nice new look. You know, currently it's this raggedy old gold. Very shortly here, it's going to look like this satin nickel. It'll look very, very cool. You really want to, you don't want to overdo it, but you want to put too little on there either when it comes to the spray paint, because you want to make sure you get it in all those tiny little areas. So, as you can see, I use the shoebox here to go ahead and do the spray painting of hardware. All these holes here are for previous dressers and nightstand hardware that was sprayed. Alright guys, we're back. Take a look, we're all cured up here. Looking good. All primed, ready to go. Except, not really. We're gonna take out this ugly mustard upholstery on the inside. And then once we get rid of all that, we're gonna go ahead and add some of my favorite paint out there. This is Sherwin-Williams Breathless. It's like pro industrial low sheen. Sherwin-Williams paint is just the bomb. So we're gonna go ahead and apply multiple coats of that because it is a low sheen. It's a light color, so we're gonna really lather that up on there so this thing comes out really cool. And I'm thinking I may put the word out there for a customization. Maybe add a couple of little trinkets, that kind of stuff. So stay with me here, and we're one step closer to restoring this piece.
This Christmas, hang all the mistletoe. I'm gonna get to know you better. This Christmas, and as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together. This Christmas, we're caroling through the night. This Christmas will be very special Christmas. take that so far. It went too fast, we couldn't reach it with the
All right, guys, checking back in. We let this cure for about 24 hours here. Sometimes you need to go a little more, but 24 is good. It feels good, so we're gonna apply that second coat. Let that second coat cure, and then we'll line it with our paper in here. Put the hardware back on. Do a couple little fluff up extra features, and she'll be done.
I got 100 G's, I'ma go, y'all. My diamonds gon' shine when the lights dark. You and I take a ride down the boulevard. And your friends really wanna break us apart. Good Lord. Oh shit. Good gracious. Staring at my diamond while I'm hopping out of spaceship. Need your information, take vacation to Malaysia. You my baby, the paparazzi flashing crazy. She swallowed the bottle while I sit back and smoke gelato. Walking my mansion, 20,000 patent Picasso. Average, I'ma make $1 million on the average. I'm riding with no brain, bitch, I'm out of use. Shake a hand, shake a hand. Will you try on all your nights like this? Wish your brother Merry Christmas. Put some spotlight on this life. Merry Christmas. Whatever comes to it. And this Christmas will be very special Christmas for me. Put some spotlight on this life.
Cool, guys. So we got our second coat on there. Just gonna want to go over with a little finer brush and wipe up any of your little runs. Those can be quite the pain in the butt. You never know where it could clump up and start to run, and then it looks just like a big old blob on there, and it's a pain. So as this dries from the second coat, you really want to make sure you grab any particular big old blobs you see and flatten them out. Pick up that paint, put it elsewhere, touch it up where you need to on the spots that you missed. And yeah. So. All right, guys, 24 hours later, boom, we're ready for the final assembly. So it came out great. It's got the 2 coats on there, looking good. Looking very, very good. So now for our final step, we're just gonna clean up the glass a little bit. Standard glass cleaner. We got our hardware spray painted. We used satin nickel for that one. Looks very, very good. So we're gonna attach that hardware. We're gonna apply our liner paper. Attach our little felt tips at the bottom so we don't make it scratch proof. Then we've got some little additions that we're gonna make to spruce it up. All right, so Tony has done this 1,000 times. Been doing this for like 5 years, restoring stuff. And to this day, I put the hardware in the wrong spots. So this is gonna come off and put it in the correct spot. See, always good to be constantly paying attention. But it also, at the same time, when you're doing this stuff, you kind of it's a good little meditative time. You can let your mind swirl and you get into autopilot flow mode and you just start putting the wrong hardware in the wrong spots, and what are you gonna do? Back to it then. All right, guys, so now I'm just making little final touches here. But that's essentially it. We'll give you the final photo finish here shortly. And looking good. What a transformation, huh? Quite the transformation. Cool, so I'll get it cleaned up here and then we'll give you guys the final inspection shot. And here is the finished product. Looks incredible. Super happy with it, guys. Came out beautiful. I love it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it away to one of my cousins for Christmas coming up right around the corner. Speaking of Christmas here, look, we got a nice little snow going on on this here beautiful Friday. So yeah, let's do a little further inspection here. I mean, I couldn't just, so happy with it here. Got our little compartment there with a mirror. Hello. Got our drawers. And then I went ahead and added some felt in here for the rings. Thanks so much for joining, guys. Hope you learned a little bit on this little tutorial here. I know I sure enjoyed it. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Most importantly, buy secondhand, reuse, refurbish. Plenty of good stuff out there to find. Bye.